Great.
Yeah,
As I was
sorry.
not able to, yeah, I was not able to ask question yesterday. So can I
Hmm.
ask them today regarding business rules?
Yeah, yeah.
If you go to the job information, so I have seen many business rule
Hmm.
wherein the event type is on post save. So
Hmm.
and they are triggering on the basis of event reason. They are triggering event. So I did not understand. I understood that they are trying to relate maybe event with the event reason, but
No, no.
in
So
what
you
do
don't
they
have
use?
to write real time. You don't have to write any business rules for the event because all the
Yeah,
event reasons are associated with the events. So you write only for the event reason, not for the event.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is
You
what
forget
I
about
thought.
this. You'll not find, you'll not see these business rules. No.
But so what is this like? If we go into any one of, let's say, go to the global assignment event.
Hmm. If event
Yeah.
reason value is
So
equal to
this,
this
yeah,
one,
then,
execute.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this event. Trigger add global assignment event. So earlier in the olden days, we used to, or they used to define the events based on the event reasons. You see here, there's
Okay.
sometime in 2016. So now we don't use these events anymore, event reasons, event business rules anymore. It is always on the event reasons.
So all these are defined like whatever on post save. I checked all of them.
Yes.
So they all are triggering
Yeah,
the
we
events
don't.
on.
Yeah, yeah, we don't use anything on the on post save.
Okay, all right, sir. And second question, like if we try to do propagation,
Hmm.
say the job information standard weekly hours.
Hmm.
So we have a propagation setup like the job information standard field. Sorry, if the
A
job
stand.
classification is not equal to null,
Hmm.
then we are
Standard week standard weekly hours are defined at company level, at
job
location level,
job classification location.
and
Yeah,
then at your job code
job
level.
classification. Yeah.
So first we should always check at job code level, lowest level.
Okay.
If it is not maintained, go look at the location level, and then company it is mandatory, so it will be maintained here.
Okay.
Now,
So
if you have your condition at the company first, it will always satisfy and it will pick up the value from company and it won't read these two conditions.
okay.
So you should always start with the job code. Hmm.
Okay.
What is your question?
Yeah, so my question is, so they are trying to read the data from the object, which is job classification and then legal
Hmm.
entity and location. So why they are saying like job information, job classification?
Because we are using a field called job code, which is on job information. Where is this field? Job information, we have the field called job information. Sorry, job information, we have field called job code. On the
But
job
job code
code,
is one
we
field.
have standard weekly hours.
So now it is referring to object, the complete object, is
Yes,
it?
it is referring to now. If you click on expand, it will show up all the fields of the object.
Yeah, in the
Same
managed
thing.
data, right?
If
Okay.
same thing. If you want to pick up the or if you want to fetch the details of a parent position. So how do you do? On the job information, you go to position field, you go to position object, and then bring the parent position. Same thing, location. You want to bring up geozone from location, then job information, location object, and then the
Okay,
geozone.
okay, I got it. Because I was, why, sir, I was confused because this says job code. No, so I was just, because, after going through many times with this business rule, reading, then I got to understand that actually it is referring to the complete whole object and it is picking up one
Yes.
field from there. I thought he's
Yeah.
talking about only the field which is mentioned in the job info. Okay, I
Mm.
got it. And Venu, sir, can we write a rule like one user? I know it can be controlled through RBP, but like one user cannot see the field, say pay grade of other user, like as an HR also. So like I may have the access to my colleague, but I should not be seeing their payroll data, like
Yeah,
one or two
so
fields.
that is controlled through RBP. Why do you want to go with business rules? See, generally, so user specific, you don't go with business rules. If you don't have any other option, you can go with business rule. But no, it can be controlled through RBP. That's part of RBP, right? What is to be seen, what is to be controlled, all of these things are done through RBP, not through business rules. But
So
again,
if
hmm,
yeah, if we say we have a requirement wherein we have a US HR department we have, and they cannot hire employee from India. They can only deal with the employee which are there in the US, and India HR can hire from India from India only employee. So in this case, there has to be maintained something, right? So that
target population, target population, granted and target population. Same thing, you see, HR, you have
okay, then we
employees.
can do come okay from
So
location.
you have, yes, you have Bangalore. Now it can be one country or one city, or no, it can be anything. So
Then
you,
why some
when
people
you
try to
specify,
control it through business rule?
now business rule, what do you want to control is if user belongs to this particular department and you don't want to show that field, you can have a business rule as well. Now I want to show the particular field to every employee except this particular employee group. Then in that case, you can write a business rule.
Okay. Yeah, but also in this case, the requirement is also not very clear to me, like what should be the requirement so that we can, I mean, I can write it. Like what exactly needs to be done?
Now, if you have user belongs to HR group, okay,
Yeah,
make the
because some
field
they are
editable.
actually login users and they are using login user
Yeah, login user.
and they follow a code, country code, 3-digit country code, right?
Hmm. Country
Something
code
like
means now whether you want to bring use the country or country code.
okay, country.
Hmm. Anything can be used, either country or country code.
Okay. Okay, and Vinu, so one more question, if you can help on one of the writing one of the rules on either on probation, how to calculate probation, and or the seniority or the date of birth of an employee to send the birthday wishes.
So birthday wishes, you don't have to do anything. We already have a birthday anniversary card on the homepage. Okay. On a
Okay,
particular day, employee or the peers and the managers, they will see the birthday card similar to this. You see this? Your team has a birthday this month, November 4th.
so it will pop up automatically.
Yes, it will show up automatically once you enable birthday card. Now this one is from the upgrade center, you need to update this.
Okay,
Now, if you want to have a business rule to see, how the age is calculated, or you want to calculate the probation period, those things you can write.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because on the basis of probation, if we are writing a rule, so employees should get an either email notification or alert message reminding him about that the probation is going to end, or it should go to HR also, whether it has to be continued further or it has to be ended, so that HR can take necessary action.
Yeah.
And also this,
That is called those are alerts.
yeah, alerts.
Okay. So
Yeah,
alert, we need to use a base object additionally. Now, on what conditions you want to have the business rule? Basically, all of this information is available either on employment details or on the job information. So let's say you want to pick up the date from job information. So job information would be your base object. Additionally, along with the job information, you should also have the alert object. So let me see if you have a probation. I have written probation earlier. For alerts, again, you need to schedule a job in. You see here,
Okay.
employment details model is a base object, and then additionally, we should also use alert as a base object. Okay, and the job information is equal to new here. It is setting the alert. No, base generally same thing. If you want to write it on job information, then see if the event reason is probation, and then probation end date. So conditions like you have probation end date. You should have this field in the job information. End date maintained as 31st December 22. This is your probation end date. Okay. Now, before 10 days, I want to have the alert.
Alert. Yeah.
Okay. So your alert should be here. Okay. Same thing I'll show you.
Okay.
Alert date to be equal to, instead of use date plus function. Alert effective date to be equal to this date. Now base date, what is your base date? Probation end date. Okay. Probation end date minus you want to have 10 days before the probation end date. So here you should be selecting the probation end date, or in this case, if it is employment details model, and if you have any date, let me pick one of the dates that is available here. Okay, benefits end date. Let's say I want to take benefits end date. This date minus, you don't want to have any number. This is 0, fine. Okay, or you can leave it as it is, and this one you consider minus 10 days. Before 10 days, it will trigger a alert. Now, whom do you want to have the alert? That you need to have maintain in the workflow information.
Okay.
And what alert message? The alert message you can write MD. It's a MDF. It is a generic object. You can maintain it in managed data. You try this. You have these examples in business rules.
Yeah,
The
alert message.
business rules MDF. Yeah. You write this, and only thing is you have to add the alerts and notifications in your provisioning as well.
Okay.
Go
And
to
then we
alert
have to
message and
schedule
say
the job to run to check it and send an alert,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
So it is on recurring basis. It will check, or it will check every day. We have to
Every
how
day.
we
Checks every day.
every day.
Now the job is scheduled to run every day. We
Okay.
never know, right? On which date
Yeah.
we have the alerts which are to be processed. So basically what happens today, we are saving the record. System will schedule the job. Now today I'm saving the job information record. System will go execute the record and see if it is today. If today is minus 10 days of this date,
Yeah.
then
Then
it
it will trigger.
executes. If it pass, then it executes that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And why on the workflow it is showing alert.workflow? Because we cannot create alert on workflows.
No, the workflow, what are you using? For whom do you want to send? I want notification to be sent to HR manager. And
Yeah.
this is maintained at workflow level. Now, maybe for HR manager, for employee, and for manager, I want all of these people to be notified. So
Yeah.
notifications are always done on the workflow, CC role.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just put CC, these three people. Now this is triggering, alert is triggering this workflow. You cannot specify, if you cannot specify the users on alert.
But
Instead,
why can't, instead
you
of
specify
using
it on
alert,
work.
okay, like why can't we use set workflow then, like we did earlier? Why we need to use alert
On the
specifically?
base object, you're not triggering the workflow there. You are actually basically triggering the alert, not the workflow. Workflow is something which gets triggered on this part. Now you are making some changes now. It will execute and it will show you the workflow participants. Okay. Now here it is not acting on immediately. It is storing that alert for the future. Now today you save the record, system will save that alert in the in the back end. On that particular day, it executes and sends the email. Okay. So
Okay,
workflows always triggers on this part, whereas the alerts, it stores the data in the database and triggers on the day of event.
okay,
Okay.
yes,
That's why you save these business rules on save alert. If it is
okay,
workflow, you'll have to save it on save.
okay,
Event type should be on save. Yeah.
okay. So that this is why we are not using set as like normal WF config, which you have used
Yes.
earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And also, one last question, Vinu sir. In manage business configuration,
Hmm.
uh, though I know background elements and tab elements, but I am not very confident when speaking about these. So, like trend information, when we go to, okay, let's go to first manage business configuration.
Hmm.
And then under employee profile, then here we have background elements, we have user info,
Background.
we have
Yeah.
tab elements,
These are all background elements. Now you
which
may
has some
or may not use
attachment.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how to use these background elements?
Now same thing here on the configure people profile. So let me go to duplicate. The difference between the HRIS element and the background element is HRIS element, you'll be creating a record. Okay. Now if I have to create education details, let's say I want to create education details. So I am creating 10th class detail. So what you'll add the school, the percentage that you have got, the start date and end date. Now same set of fields you'll use for your intermediate as well. Okay, and you'll use it for the degree as well. So you go to the education portlet, system will show all the 3 records. In the HRIS elements, it is not that case. You can only store 1 record at a time, and it displays only 1 record at a time. Now all of these records, you can keep on adding any number of records with the same set of fields. That is your background element. Okay, and if you want to use a background element, you'll find again here live profile background element. See here,
Yeah,
if I go just drag and
custom.
drop background portlet. Okay, so
Okay,
what is the block title that you want, or these are all background elements. Okay, which are enabled. So you can just choose what background element. Now it is formal education. So this will show up, this portlet will show formal education background, and you go to any employee details. I'll show you what I mean by the background element, creating multiple records. Yeah, formal education here. Okay.
Yes.
Go to add record. Now you see this is the set of fields. Now these are the fields you can see for every record. You can keep on adding, you can keep on add the details.
Okay. It is
Start
coming
date and
from
end date.
background
Same,
element.
yeah, same for your qualification or for your work
Okay.
experience and so on. So where you want to keep, where we want to maintain the similar details for each record.
Okay.
So starting from this year to this year, no, I was with Deloitte. Starting from this year to this year, I was with IBM. Starting from this year to this year, it is with Accenture. So system will show all of these three records, 3 or 4 records what that I create. So you keep on adding. Now, if I go to job information or employment information where it is a standard or HRIS element, you don't have option of adding the record here. You can insert a new record which will be on top of it. Always the current record will be on top. Okay, and you'll always see the active record, active current record.
Okay.
Okay.
So in case we create a custom MDF for say job experience and we show it on the people profile, so that will not have that add button, right?
No, it won't. That's not
Okay.
now the difference. I've told you, right? The difference between
Yeah.
now HRIS element and the MDF object what we have created yesterday, both of them are same. You want to have background element, then you go create here background element. Create new. So you
Okay.
will not have for HRIS element, you will not have no new element here. Create new element.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go on and see MDF block which we have created yesterday?
Yes, Venusu.
Okay. Others? Any other doubts? Rafi, Venkat, Anusha. Okay. So
Uh,
what we did?
yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
yesterday, Priya was asking about association. Like, are we going to do
Yeah.
after this?
Yes. Once we complete this MDF portlet, we'll move to association.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yesterday we have done 2 steps, which is, let me clear this. This one, 3 steps basically. Okay. So the 4th step that we have to do is design the UI. How do you want to show the fields of the object that you have created? And this is done through manage configuration UI. Okay. Now you go to manage configuration UI. Now you have to create the UI because I have just created the object. For that object, I need to design the UI. So you need to create a new design. Name it as Wipro Medical History. Okay. And select the base object. Base object is what I have created yesterday. So just choose the base object. Wipro Medical History. Once you choose the base object, system will get all the fields that are created, that are added into this portlet. Okay. Now what can we do here is, see, you have these many fields. Now if you want to split these into different sections, we can split. Or if you want to change the data into a different format, now it is showing as a form. Okay. Instead of now all of these fields are showing as vertical. Now I want to have it as horizontal view. So you can go change the view as well. You can change the sequence of the fields. You can just move up and down the sequence of the fields. You can add more fields. You see here, you can add more fields. You can add a link, like you can add a hyperlink and just give some link to it. Maybe you want to take them to the SharePoint or to some of the URL, you can give the link. You can group all the fields. Now, some fields you want to group, like you go to manage data, manage position. The best example is your position. Now, while creating the position, you will see that there are different sections here. Position and job details, there are some fields. And then organization, you have some fields. And then matrix positions, you have some fields. Now, these are not three different portlets or three different objects. Now, all of them are part of the position object. But these are grouped, these fields are grouped into different sections. So if you want to add the groups, you can also add groups. You can also add the reference. Like now, if you want this to be referred somewhere, you can add the reference as well. And you can change the properties. Okay, now this particular block, if you want to change the properties, like go to properties, all of the fields are showing up center. Now I want them to show up in the left hand side. It shows up on the left hand side. Okay, it looks good with the center. Now I have too many fields on the object. I don't want to show all the fields. I just want to show only some fields, maybe 5 fields or 6 fields, and the rest of them I want to hide. You see, it shows up only 6 fields, and the rest of the fields you need to click on show more. Click show more, it shows the other fields. So you can also control the number of fields that you want to display. Similarly, you can also change the layout. The layout, it is form. You can also change it to flow or grid. Now both of them are similar. You say flow. This is the flow. It is horizontal. Now all of these fields, 6 fields are showing up in the horizontal, and you see here show more. This is flow. Similarly, you go to change it to grid. This is grid. Grid will show up in the one line here, and it shows up the separate section. Okay, so these things can be done on the UI.
Can we control sequence?
Yeah, sequence can also be controlled. I show you, right? So let's say I want to show up all the fields now. It is showing up all. Now I want to have nominee here. I want to have others somewhere else. We can do that. You see, nominee is moved. Now I want first weight and then height. You can move.
Okay, only drag and drop.
Drag and drop. Or you don't want to use some field, you can also delete it. So let's create one more group here. Let's say when you click on add group, a new group added here. You see, when you mouse over, it shows up this group. Okay, the dotted lines you see here, it is showing as a new group. So system will add one additional field called input along with the group. For this group, if you want to add some details like employees details like medical attachment, I want to show it here. Just drag and drop onto your block. This is not here. Let me drag and drop here. It should be into the block. Come on. Yeah. Now see here, location is added into this group. Medical also add it into this group only. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Now allergies, I want to add into this group. Allergy if other, just add. Okay. Medical certificate I want to add at the end. Now I don't need input field. Okay. So you can add any number of groups. This is one group that I have added and added some fields into it. Okay. So family doctor also I'll add here. Medical insurance. Yeah, go ahead.
Upload attachment. Can you show me again? I missed it.
What upload attachment? This is a field which we have added yesterday. Attachment field. configure object definition. The data type that we have used is attachment.
Okay. Got it. I thought there might be something special over here.
No. Now this group of fields, what I have, okay, this group of fields, I want to have this title differently. So you go click on edit properties. So this is the title. So name it as employee personal history, personal medical details. Okay. And this title, now this title is changed, employee personal medical details. Then this group title, you want to have it in the bold. Just make it bold. Okay. Now this one, I want to show this particular section. I want to show it in the theme, what we are using, whatever theme that we are using. So go change it here. You want to show a border, show it as border. Okay. It will show a border. Collapsible, yes or no? Like on the position you have collapsed and expanded, right? If you want to have collapsible, make it yes. Okay. Default collapsed, no. If you say default collapse yes, then by default all the fields will be collapsed and you need to expand it. Now style, I want to have theme based. Either you can go with default or the theme based. If it is theme based, this is the theme what we are using. You see now you have the, for the header you have this theme. Okay. Similarly, you can also add a group for these fields as well. Okay. So any of the fields can be added. The fields can be maintained in a sequence that you want to have, and you can create more groups into the section. You can make the fields, you can make the groups as collapsible or open. You can change the format, like you want to change the alignment, or you can change it to vertical or the horizontal, like flow or grids. All of these things can be possible through configuration UI. Now additionally, you can also write a business rules. Now I don't know, I want to have some I want to execute something, or I want to add something to it. So you go here, manage UI rules. You can go add rule here. Okay.
Can we control the size of the attachment?
Yes, size of the attachment can be controlled. They, in the configure object definition, you need to add that.
Okay.
Okay. Now this group, you see, the group you have if others field. Okay. You want to add some text to it, you can add. Or group if allergy value, this is a drop down value. That's set. Set if other visibility to be equal to yes. Okay. Is not equal to others, set to yes. Okay. And the same condition, if it is equal to and paste it here. No, this is reverse way. This is no. And this is yes. Okay. And then when do you want this? You go change here, add the rule, what you have written. Okay. So only if allergy, if when you select others, I want the if these others to be shown up. Otherwise, I don't want to show if others. Okay. That I have written. Just save it. Now this UI, you need to attach it to the configuration. Go back to configure object definition, select your object, Wipro medical history, and add your screen here, default screen. Now default screen should be your Wipro medical history, this one. Save it. Now whatever UI that I have created, that will apply to this object. Okay. Now if I go back to configure people profile, the last step is configure people profile. Add the UI to people profile. This is done in configure people profile. So where do you want to add? Now you can choose one of the maybe existing ones or into a new section which you have created. If it is a new section, then you need to add permissions. We have already added permissions here. Now I want to add my block here under Wipro subsection. So you go to custom blocks, drag and drop the live profile MDF. This is live profile MDF information. Drag and drop it here. Once you drop your live profile MDF block, it shows up all the blocks. You go check your Wipro medical. Rafi, can you go on mute, please? I hear echo. Yeah, thank you. Now I have added my portlet to the subsection which I have created yesterday and save it. Now this is saved. Let's go to any employee. Okay, Wipro section. Go to Wipro section and you see here Wipro medical history. This portlet. Edit or create a record. This is effective portlet. So you have effective date. Name we have not used, so this is that external name. Blood group is a mandatory field and we have also added help text. You go click on help text, choose background from drop down. Choose blood group from drop down. So let's choose the drop down. Okay. Just choose one value. Weight in kgs. Let's say I want to have it as 72. Height in centimeters 145 or 165.501. You can add height. COVID vaccination. It is a Boolean. So you have yes or no. Yes. Past medical history. You can add the details here. Vaccination date. When was the vaccination taken? Now this field can be moved just under COVID vaccination. Okay. So you can pick a date. Nominee. Relationship with nominee. Now these are the relationships that we have. Disability. Medical insurance, yes or no. Now see, this is a separate section. Employee personal medical details. Family doctor. Allergy. Yesterday we have added the UI field renderer. So we don't see the pick list values here. For these, you see pick list code and pick list value. But for allergy, we don't see the pick list code here because I have selected, I have added UI field renderer. Now allergy, I have picked the value of allergy to dust or no some value. So it has hidden the field if others. If I go pick others, then it will show up if others. If it is dairy products or any other field, it won't show up. Okay. Location is a foundation object. You can go pick the location here. And then medical attachment, you can upload the document. Save the record. Now these details are saved here. Okay. Now, since this is a MDF object which we have created, you can also maintain the data from manage data. You go to manage data. It's an object. So you can go see the record here. I have maintained for Debashish. So I'll see the record for Debashish here. So this is that record. Clear? Any doubts here? Now you can insert a record, or you can also create a record for other employees.
Can we call this during the event like actions like hire or some other actions? Can we call this screen?
Now the event reason, so the hire record, hire portlet, you cannot modify the hire portlet or the hire screen. The fields, if you have added to like compensation or job information, those fields will show up, but no additional portlets. If you want to configure, you cannot do that.
Like if allergy is, if we want for like visibility is there allergy, then you are not fit for the employment. Such kind of rules if we want to write during the hiring action.
When will you do hiring? So after recruiting, you will be doing the hiring, the EC part. Okay. Now this portlet is to be designed in the recruitment itself then.
Okay. If we don't have recruitment,
if you don't have recruitment, then before when do you do hiring actually? When do you add an employee into the system?
Yes.
Maybe you have already
Done the
offered the
paperwork and all.
candidate. Yeah, paperwork and all is completed, and then you've hired the candidate. So basically, all of this information, what you will do, you will ask the employee to fill these details. Okay, like education, contact. Now in the hire screen, HR cannot go and add all of the details. HR can enter only the minimum details which are required. And your personal information, job information, comp information, these are important. So they'll be adding these details, and once we hire the employee will be given access, and they can go and add all these details like education, certifications, your qualifications, and then experiences, medical history. All of these details are maintained by employee themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear on custom portlets?
Yeah. When can it be added to the say like as a block on personal information?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Configure people profile. If you have empty block, this one, you just drag and drop your live profile MDF here and tag your UI.
What does this live profile mean?
Live profile, MDF information, the blocks what we configure in configure object definition, all of them will show up here. All of them
Okay.
which has got the external code data type set as user, only those will show up. Now you don't see your company or you don't see department division blocks here. Those are not meant for employee profile. Those are MDF objects.
Okay.
So the condition to appear the object here is the data type of external code should be set as user. If it is set to user, then that means the portlet is designed for the employee profile. And then you should have the UI also designed.
Okay. So in that case, like similarly, we can create some custom block as per the customer requirement, and we can put that block in the hiring template through Hire Wizard. Is it? Can we put that or not? Like on the
We don't
system,
have,
we have
you
provided
don't have,
custom.
you don't have your hire template, right? You are not defining which portlet to show up in the hire. So if you have a hire template, not sure if system allows you to add the custom block, or maybe
Okay.
it's there because I have not used the hire template.
Okay.
Not sure if it allows.
Because Hired Wizard will show the standard ones, I think.
No, no.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So only these things are there. See.
So there is no way we can add custom portlet here.
No. I think here MDF lock type here. Let's see.
Okay.
Maybe yes. Yeah, it is there.
Okay.
Add it as a configure UI.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it will show
it
up
is.
on Hired Wizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a custom template, for template that you are using, it maybe yes, we can add.
Okay.
Okay. So again, this has come in the recent releases. The last year, I think, last 2020 second half or 21 first half. High template was added. Okay. Now, that's on your custom portlet and configure people profile. So how to design a UI of a portlet or how to create a MDF object and add it to the existing employee people profile. Okay. Now, we'll look at the associations as well. Firstly, what do we use the association for? What is association?
Relationships.
Association is nothing but relationship. Now, this relationship can be between any object. If it can be between FO to FO, it can be between FO to MDF. It can be MDF to FO, MDF to MDF. Okay. So F foundation object, any association that you want to have for the foundation objects, then you do it in the corporate data model. Okay. So this is also corporate data model. And if you want the association to happen on MDF object, then should be configure object definition. Okay. So the association can be added either on corporate data model or in configure object definition, depending on the object, on which object you want to do the association. So why do we do this association? To show only certain values. Now, if you have 100 departments, okay, and you have 10 divisions. Now, for each division, you have some 10 departments. Now, user should not see all of the departments in for all the divisions. Okay, so that portion will be scenario will work only when you have your association built correctly. Now, while adding the division and department. So what you do while creating the department or for the department object, you go and add the division. So how many departments you want to have it for one division? If it is only 1-to-1, one department to one division, then it should be 1-to-1. No, I want to have multiple departments or multiple divisions using one particular department. HR department, I want to use it for 4 or 5 divisions. So you need to have it as 1-to-many. So you create a department. Every time you create a department, you choose for what all divisions you want to show this department for. Now, will the association work if you just add the association at the object level? No. Now, this will work at the object level. You go to manage data, you choose a department, you try to maintain a department, system will show you the division. So you have just maintained the relationship, saying that these departments are part of this division, or these divisions are associated with this department. But when you go at the employee level, in the job information, you are using the fields department, division, location, and so on. Now there, system should go filter the departments based on the division. Now what happens if I go select any employee? Any employee. Job information, history, edit, or you can also go to insert in your record. Okay. Now here, if I see, it is only showing those locations. Now system has got now in this system we have many other locations, but system is only showing these 3 locations which are part of this company. Or department, I may have other departments as well, but it is not showing all of those departments which are in the system. So I have only these 2 divisions. Why system is showing only these 2 divisions? Because these 2 divisions are associated with this business unit. When you select a different maybe business unit, you'll see a different division here. You have only one division. You have one division here. And if you select other business unit, you see here two divisions here. So this is called the filtering of the values in the object. These are called the filter criteria. Once you have the association maintained, if you want to filter now, if you don't want this filter to, if you don't want this filtering on the at the employee level, let's say I want to show all the divisions that are created. So system will show all the divisions here, or no, system will show all the locations here. Instead of these 3, system will show all the 1000 locations which we have. Okay. Now this can be controlled through field criteria. Now while adding the field criteria, it should be at the field level. When you select division, I want only those departments to show up which are associated with that division. Similarly, you go to manage position. When you are creating a position, if you have observed when I created position, go to position. You see here, I select Pro company. Okay. Now business unit, it is showing all the business units. These are not my business units. It is showing all the business units. When I select business unit from that list, it is showing only those 2 divisions which are associated with this business unit. Similarly, you select a division, it will show the departments which are associated with this division. So there is a field criteria defined at the object and the field level. Within position object, at field level, you have the field criteria. That's called field criteria. It is not happening because you have associated the object. You have associated the object, you have maintained the association at the object level. That's why in the managed data, you are able to choose the divisions at the department level. Okay, but that is not filtering the values here. The filtering is done on the configure object definition. Let's say I want to have, let's say I want to filter the values here. Let's say simple example. Now here system is showing all the business units, right? It is showing all of these business units. Now I don't want all these business units because I have selected company. I want only those business units which are associated with the company. Firstly, you should go and see whether the business unit has got association of company. You go to business unit and see here associations. So this is association name, multiplicity 1-to-1, and destination object is company. So your company is associated with business unit and the name is this one. Okay. And the type of association in the corporate data model, you don't have to define what is the type of association. But here in the configure object definition at the MDF or the generic object level, you maintain the type of the object. Now, valid when, you have valid when, composite, and join by columns. Okay, so join by columns is not used frequently. No, at least I have not used for in any of the projects. Now, there are some standard objects where you see the join by columns. If you want to add one column of one object with the other column of other object, you will be using join by column. Majorly used are valid when and composite. Now, when do we use a valid when and when do we use a composite? Simple rule: if the destination object's effective dating is basic. Now, business unit's effective dating is basic. So see, you can use, and if you are using business unit as the destination object, you can only use valid when. And any other values of effective dating, you can use the composite. Now, if I go to division, the effective dating of business unit is basic. So if I go to division, on the division we have business unit, right, as a base object. So you have valid when. So composite, now I'll give you an example of composite. So you go to country, region or country, right? This one. This one. Pay component. Okay. Here we use composite because the pay component wrapper here. Now I'll tell you what is the wrapper also. Have here pay component wrapper. Where's that? Pay component wrapper. This object has got effective dating of from parent. So that's why on the country we use the association as composite. Now what is a wrapper? Wrapper is a bridge between MDF and your foundation object. Now where are the MDF objects, the foundation objects defined?
Corporate data
MDF
model.
and FO. Now the foundation objects are defined in corporate data model. Now if you want to use the objects which are outside your MDF object, outside your system, now the corporate data model is defined in the provisioning. Okay, all of your foundation objects are defined in corporate data model. So if you want to tag or if you want to associate your foundation object with your MDF object, now these can be done only with wrapper. So what SuccessFactors has done is SuccessFactors has created all of these foundation objects here in configure object definition as wrappers. If you see here, all the foundation objects, what you see, geozone, frequency, event reason, location group, location, pay component group. So these are all your objects with wrappers. Okay, so if you want to use one foundation object in any of the MDF objects, in this case, so you should use the wrapper. And most of these foundation objects, their effective dating is set as from parent. So you will always use the composite for your MDF and foundation object association. Okay, now going back to position object. Let me go to position object. Now why the system is filtering the divisions based on the business unit? Okay, now if I select Wipro, then it filters all the values in the division here. You see these two divisions. Now because there is a filter criteria applied on division object or the division field in position, you go to division field here and go to details. You see here field criteria set as your business unit. Destination field name is business unit, and the source field name is cust_business unit dot internal ID. Now, what is this internal ID? For every object, there is a field called internal ID or internal code. For the custom objects, you will find it as MDF system internal ID. For the standard objects, you will find it as internal ID. Now you need to add the association name which you have used. Now, if I have to define the business unit association, now let me go make correction. Go here, business unit details. There is no field criteria defined here between company. So you need to maintain that first. So let me go back to object because I need to know the association name. So let me go back to business unit. Go to business unit. On the business unit, you have the association with the company. So copy this association name, whatever name that you give. Now this is custom. You can add any name as the association. So whatever name that you have, just add the name here. Cust_legal entity. Dot. You will find one field called internal ID, internal code, this one. And the field ID for internal code is internal ID, this one. Just copy that and add here, internal ID. Internal ID. And what is the destination value? The destination is my company. So whatever field ID I have for company, that company I need to map it here and say done. Now you go save this. Now there was no filter for business unit on the position object, but now I have maintained the field criteria at the business unit level. Okay. Now if I go to position, let me go back to position and select here Pro products. In the business unit, it shows up only those business units which are associated with this company. Now it is not showing me all the business units. It is only showing me the business units which are associated with the company. Now same thing when you look at the field criteria at the employee level. So that means there is a field criteria added in manage business configuration. You go to manage business configuration. Job information. See here on the fields. F company, business unit. I go to business unit, you see here F5. Wherever you see F5, it is field criteria. TR is trigger rule. SY is sync. So there is a field criteria on business unit. Go to business unit. And here destination value is company. The object, the field ID. This one. Company. The field ID is the destination should be your parent field's ID, and then source field name here your cust_legal entity, whatever association name that you have defined, dot your internal ID. And if you want to associate or if you want to define the field criteria between the custom object, now custom object you will not find internal ID. Now let me go to my custom ID which I have created. If it is, if you want to associate or you want to use the field criteria on this object. So you will find internal ID here also. You see here internal code. So for internal code, you have MDF system internal code. You need to use this destination object dot your MDF system internal code. For all the standard MDF objects, you can directly go. Now let's go to department. You see here department division and then cust to division and dot internal ID, because on the division object, you have, sorry, department object, because we are looking at the department. In the department object, whatever association name that you have given, this one, cust to division. So that you need to maintain here. Manage business configuration, cust to division, and then internal ID. Okay. And this one, destination field, should always be whatever ID that you have here in the HRIS fields. Clear? Now location, why location is showing only, why employees can see only those locations which are associated with company. Now here, location is a foundation object, and this is a MDF object. If you are adding the field criteria at the location level, in the corporate data model, you have the association between location and company, right? On the location object, you have company, but there you don't have any internal IDs or internal codes. So you just have to maintain only the object ID. You go to details, you'll see here company, legal entity. That's it. You don't have to add any internal ID or anything here, because this association between company and location is defined at the corporate data model. So in corporate data model, we don't have those MDF system fields. So you just have to add the legal entity, the object ID.
Company and business unit we can add, no, sir?
No, your business locations are maintained at company level, not at the business unit level. You go to manage org pay. You go to location. You have the association of company, right? Company is associated with location, not with business unit. So that's why you have added at location, you have added the legal entity. Legal entity is the ID of the object. For company, you're calling it as a legal entity. The object ID is legal entity. So that's why you have added here legal entity. And the destination field value, always this is your destination field value. This is this one. Whatever
So
name
can we have one-way relationship, like vice versa? In SAP we'll have like vice versa relationship, like with A and B relationships, right?
Circular
Here it is like
circular references are not respected. So you associate, see, from company, first you create company. While creating business unit, you add company. And while creating division, you add business unit. While creating division, you add department. Now, if you add department association, you add business unit also. So this won't work.
So while reporting,
or you want to have department at a division level, backwards, it won't work.
so how?
Go ahead.
If we don't have like two-way relationships, then how reporting will be done? Like if I want to have active and passive reporting, then
What does this mean? Ram is father of Suresh.
active voice. Okay.
Okay. So both of them are same, right?
Yes.
So here department is associated, sorry, division is associated with department. So that means division is related with the department, either one-to-one or one-to-many. Okay. Or you can say department has got association of division, or division is associated with department. Yeah.
In the same way, company and business.
You cannot say that Ram is son of Suresh. You cannot go back to it, right? Yeah, so same
Hey,
thing.
only one way I mean to say, in company and business unit, can we have only one way relationship, like association, one way association? After creating the company, can we have business unit, or like if we associate that thing, will it reflect while choosing business
No.
unit itself?
Field criteria, again, it won't work if you add it in that way. Now, if I go to position or any employee profile, what are you choosing first? Is it the company or business unit?
The company.
Company, you're choosing the field company first, and then it is showing up all the business units which are associated with the company, right?
Yes.
So you don't choose business unit first, and then you don't come in the reverse way. Like first I will select department and then go select division, go select business unit, go select company. No, it doesn't work that way. This is parent,
No,
company is parent. This is child. So always the associations are maintained at the child level.
let's say company incorporates a business unit, and business unit is incorporated by company. Or
So
like company.
circular reference, it won't work.
Okay.
You cannot have that.
Okay. So at company level, we can't have any association only.
No. Now company level, you may say here, position also, configure object definition, company. You see here, these are all the associations. These are countries again, country specific. Name format. This is again another association. Now you are using, if I go to manage data and company. So what do we have here? Default location. What is it showing up? All the locations here.
All the locations.
But this is not association.
Yes.
Here we see here now the one-to-one association, and this one is same. But this is not association. Now in configure object definition, you don't see the association because that is added as a field location. You go here, default location, foundation object is added. Which foundation object? Location foundation object is added. Okay. Here it is added as a field, not as an association.
Field with the pick list as the properties of it, right?
It is not pick list. It is no foundation object. You are referring foundation object. Same thing. I've shown you adding a object here. In my Wipro medical history, I've not associated location. I've added it as a foundation object. You see here, location somewhere here. Location, I've added it as a foundation object.
Yeah.
So when you add a foundation object or generic object, it will show as a drop-down value. Now, for a user who is using the employee profile, employee file, they don't know whether it is association or it is a pick list or it is a MDF object or generic object. For them, it is a drop-down value which displays the values here. You go job information. For them, all of these fields are same. They are just drop-down values. But for us, consultant, we know that this is association or this is a MDF object which is added to the portlet or no generic object added to the portlet. Now for them, all of these are drop down. For them, all of these are just drop down values. Okay.
So this foundation object, the drop down values are added in corporate data model on those things also.
Yes.
When we use it in configure object definition, it will be shown as it is, as we created in the corporate data model. We don't need to create any special pick list when we use the foundation object.
Yes.
And if you want to restrict a few values in the that foundation object, only few values has to be displayed. Then
now few values, what do you mean by few values?
that drop down
Is
list
it based on a company? Is it based on what is it based on? If it is association,
like,
again you can have it as a field criteria.
No,
Here.
like anyways, like if when we create anyway company, location used as a field with the foundation object, right? Here location is like you got only few things here, like three, two things, like. But when we are seeing there, we got acha here. Okay, there is again association between location and position or something, right?
Company. You have in the manage business configuration, you have set the field criteria. That's because the filtering of the values is done through field criteria. This one, location, you have field criteria here. Destination or source field name is legal entity and destination is company. From company, it is picking up the locations. Okay.
And criteria we have maintained.
Criteria
like,
can only be maintained if you have association between those two objects. Department, I've maintained the field criteria because I have the association between division.
Okay, between division.
Similarly, division I've maintained criteria here. This
Business
one, business unit.
And this thing also should be in sequence, right?
Yes, should be in sequence.
The company, business unit, division, department, location.
Now you can have in any sequence, you can go location, add the location somewhere here. But again, this will always bring up the values based on your company.
Okay, it happens automatically, or we should do that arrows like up and down?
Up and down can now. It all depends upon your customer. How do where do you want your location to show up? I want to show building immediately after location. Yes, that is also possible. You go change that.
Change in configure object definition.
Configure people profile.
People profile.
Job information. You can configure fields edit dialog here. Bring the time zone down here. Building here. Okay. So we'll stop it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow with a new topic.
What will be the topic tomorrow?
Position management settings. Okay. I don't want to attend tomorrow.
No. It's not like that. I'm way behind in practicing. That's the reason. Just at least if I study, I will follow. That is the problem.
Yeah. Priya, any doubts here on association?
Venu sir, I'll come with doubt tomorrow. I have doubt on this, and I was prepared to ask you question, but then you started the topic itself. So I will ask tomorrow because today the day is done, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll catch up tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you. Cheers.